Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. Today is Saturday, August 26, 2023. And the breaking news is not that Texas prisons have mask mandated the offenders, but that Greg Abbott signed a law in June, effective several days from now, September 1st. So we're going to dive right into that, what that looks like, if I can find it. And there it is. Right there. And I'm going to read it to you guys. Be sure you like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. You want to reach me, the Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. The fearlessfloydshow.com is my website. I've got trust classes on there, VCR classes, mortgage, foreclosure. You want a foreign trust, revocable trust, irrevocable trust? What do you want? I've got it all in there. So go get it. Ann's book on trusts, how to create, operate, and open a bank account and get your EIN for revocable trust, irrevocable, foreign trust, express trust, college education trust. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So if you want to operate in trust, that's the book you want to get. You want to reach me, I'm on almost every social media platform. Go check me out. Join in the fun. Here we go. This is from San Antonio Current. As you see, it's by Patrick Svetic, Texas Tribune, on Wednesday, June 7th, 2023 at 3:54 p.m. New Texas law bans COVID mask, vaccine, and shutdown mandates, but some Republicans want more. The bill, recently signed by Governor Greg Abbott and set to take effect September 1st, does not restrict pandemic rules by private entities. Ever since the COVID-19 pandemic broke out in 2020, Governor Greg Abbott has faced nagging scrutiny from fellow Republicans over his response from ordering business closures early on to managing vaccine mandates later. This year, Abbott sought to quiet his critics once and for all by asking lawmakers to prioritize legislation to end COVID restrictions forever. He also asked for limits on his power to respond to a pandemic without legislative input. He got his way only partly. And before I move on, this is how far the political juxtapositioning has occurred in the United States of America for me. I literally went and bought a Trump hat. Why? It's not so much that I support Trump or the Republican Party or conservatives or MAGA or QAnon or any of that. It's principle. Okay? It's principle. So all you that are against this guy right here, what I got for you, amongst a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's what y'all forced Fearless Floyd to do. Okay? Because now he's an underdog. Y'all martyred him. He's a martyr. He'll go down as the greatest president in the history of the United States of America, period. Hands down. Y'all cannot top that. I'm sorry that y'all did that. Okay? And don't think for a minute they are not trying to create a civil war. Every minute of every day, they want to create a civil war. They want chaos. Why do they want a civil war? So we cannot have a 2024 election. Country's in chaos, state of emergency, lockdown, no elections. You see in the flip-flop, didn't Donald Trump say all this? Weren't the whole conspiracy? Oh, yeah, Donald Trump, he'll just do it, have an 8-year term, 12-year term. He'll be the next FDR. Remember when y'all were saying that? Well, they're trying to flip that on you. Trying to do everything that y'all said. Lock her up. Lock her up. What do they do? Now they're over here on their side. Lock him up. Lock it. Well, you can't really find them because they're not out on the streets protesting. They're not at political rallies protesting like they were with this guy's rallies. So let me jump back on here and get off my little soapbox there. I didn't mean to get out there and wrong place at the wrong time. Okay. Yep. Lot right there. Okay. Let me share my screen. So we're sharing. On Friday, Abbott signed into law Senate Bill 29, which prohibits local governments from requiring COVID-related masks, vaccines, or business shutdowns. But some Republicans say it does not go far enough because it does not cover private entities. In addition, a proposal curbing his power never made it to Abbott's desk. It may largely be symbolic. It may largely be a symbolic debate to the average Texan. The pandemic is over, and Abbott long ago took executive action to snuff out all types of mandates. But it remains a salient cause for some in Abbott's party who have championed medical freedom in the wake of the pandemic. State Representative Brian Harrison, Republican of Midlothian, said he voted for Senate Bill 29, calling it fine, but questioning how much it really matters. He pushed for a more sweeping ban on vaccine mandates during the regular session. Is there a single COVID mandate that Senate Bill 29 will end? Probably not, Harrison said in an interview. He added that private vaccine mandates are alive and well in Texas, despite Abbott's orders, and that the state should be leading the fight against COVID tyranny. Excuse me. Harrison sent Abbott a letter Tuesday asking him to make a comprehensive ban on COVID-19 vaccine mandates part of a special session agenda. It appears to be an issue that Abbott wants to put in the rearview mirror. When he announced an immediate special session on other priorities last week, he first rattled off a list of regular session achievements that included ending COVID restrictions and mandates. Abbott's office did not respond to a request for a comment for this story. Harrison and Senator Mays Middleton, Republican of Galveston, authored legislation during the regular session to outlaw all COVID-19 vaccine mandates. The Senate bill passed in that chamber, but never got a vote on the House floor. Although dozens of House Republicans signed on, it had the support of groups like Texas GOP and Texans for Vaccine Choice. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention continues to recommend vaccination against COVID-19 for those 6 months and older as the best way to prevent serious illness. Like many governors, Abbott began the pandemic by issuing restrictions that shut down businesses and limited in-person gatherings. But it was only weeks before he and other red state governors started facing pressure to reopen their economies, pressure that Abbott heeded. Abbott eventually banned mandatory face masks and insisted that vaccines remained a private choice, saying personal responsibility, not government mandates, was the answer. That change of heart, however, left lingering doubts within the state Republican Party. The governor has used his COVID-19 disaster declaration, first issued in March 2020 and repeatedly renewed since, as the basis for executive orders preventing mandates on vaccines, masks, and business closures. He has promised to lift the disaster declaration once the legislature codifies his executive orders, but it remains to be seen if Senate Bill 29 is enough for that. Abbott last renewed the disaster declaration on May 15th. Senate Bill 29 goes into effect on September 1st and may have impact on a tangle of lawsuits between the state and local governments that are challenging Abbott's executive order prohibiting them from issuing mask or vaccine mandates. Lawyers for the three big counties argued at the state Supreme Court in February that they should have the option to mandate masks if COVID-19 surges again. Texas Republicans have largely been united on preventing local governments from enacting COVID requirements, but whether to extend to that private businesses has been more thorny. Abbott knows firsthand. In 2021, he initially gave private businesses the option to mandate COVID-19 vaccine for workers, with a spokesperson saying that private businesses don't need government running their businesses. But he reversed himself weeks later amid political pressure, announcing an executive order that prohibited any entity in Texas, including private businesses, from requiring vaccines. The legislature was in a special session at the time, so Abbott called on lawmakers to codify the executive order. But legislation to do so failed after running into opposition from traditionally GOP-friendly business groups. That left Abbott in the awkward position of repeatedly renewing the COVID disaster declaration long after the state stopped taking the pandemic seriously. I'm going to keep that in place until the legislatures codify my executive orders that ban mask mandates, that ban forced vaccines and things like that, Abbott said in January. I want to see that get passed. Delivering his State of the State speech next month, he designated an emergency item to prohibit any government from imposing COVID mandates. He also said he wanted to require the legislature to convene in another pandemic if ever declared. Senate Bill 29 appears to satisfy the emergency item, which called for legislation restricting local governments and not private entities. But Harrison and other Republicans noted that Abbott had previously and repeatedly used more sweeping language, calling for legislation banning any COVID vaccine mandate, public or private. Most Democrats opposed Senate Bill 19, arguing it would hamstring local governments from responding to future unknown variants of the virus that caused COVID. I understand where this legislation comes from, Representative Erwin Zwiener, Democrat of Driftwood, said on the House floor. It comes from the frustration of early days of the pandemic, but I am concerned this legislation is potentially short-sighted. The truth is, we don't know what the next variant looks like. Zwiener and other Democrats successfully amended the bill in the House to create exceptions to the bill on mask mandates for places like assisted living facilities. But the Senate balked at those changes, and they were removed in conference committee. As for Abbott's call for legislation to require lawmakers to meet during the next pandemic, 2 Republicans teamed up early in the regular session to address it. Senator Brian Birdwell, Republican from Granbury, and Republican Shelby Slauson, Republican from Stephenville, introduced bills to require the governor to call a special session if he wants to extend a disaster declaration beyond 30 days for most of the state. Lawmakers would be given a chance to vote on the governor's proposed extension. They could also pass laws related to the disaster. The proposal gained unanimous support in the Senate in late March, but hit a wall in the House. Only one Republican besides Slauson signed on to the House bill, and when the House finally decided to move on the Senate bill, it was far too late for it to have a chance at a floor vote ahead of the bill-killing deadline. Harrison called it one of the biggest failings of the legislative session. And there you have it. So that goes into effect September 1st. Well, exactly how much of that's going to cover is a good question. We just don't know. So be sure you like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. Mask mandates in prison. I'm sure visitations just haywire. So if you're going to go visit somebody, you're probably not going to be able to. Might want to call ahead. All you offenders in there. I know y'all watch my videos. I know y'all know who I am. So this will probably be taken down off YouTube. It'll be on Rumble and BitChute, as well as Telegram and other avenues. Odyssey is one as well. So go check it out. You guys do not file a class action lawsuit, okay? You saw what Governor Abbott did, so you all need to be filing lawsuits, every one of you, okay? I don't care if you write it on toilet paper. I don't care what you write it on. Write it on something and file it. Get some help. Y'all are all locked down. You ain't got nothing to do all day long. Sit there and write and file lawsuits and file them. Clog up every district court in the state of Texas and every county in the state of Texas. Clog them up. Do not do a class action. Please do not do a class action. Okay? Keep this all separate. Bog them down. Make Abbott pay attention to you prisoners. That's how you do it. You all band together and y'all do one thing at once. If y'all don't bound together, y'all will be divided and conquered. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. The Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. Y'all all know my phone number, so you can call me as well. FearlessFloydShow.com is my website. I'm on Fearless Floyd Show, every platform you can imagine. Come check me out. I'm on Telegram too. Mainly where I hang out and party. All right. If I don't see y'all before Monday-ish, Tuesday-ish, have a safe weekend. Thank you very much for being here. Bye. It's in the middle.